And a happy Tuesday to you. I had some people yesterday said, hey, how come you didn't talk about Hailey Van Lith and her TCU Horned Frogs on Monday? Well, I wanted to give it all the time it needed for itself today. We had all that Seahawks news yesterday. Yes, Hailey Van Lith, the Kashmir grad, and her TCU Horned Frogs are the Big 12 champions in women's college basketball. Hailey scored a team-high 20 points Sunday in TCU's 64-59 win over Baylor for the Big 12 title. It was the 8th-ranked Horned Frogs' 3rd win of the season against the Bears.
Here's Van Lith. Van Lith will look for 2. Most of the scoring has come from the free throw line for Hailey Van Lith, but knocks down the field goal. 11 now for Andrews. Van Lith with the blow by for 2.
He has the 4 fouls.
There's Fauntleroy D'ing up on Van Lith. The entry pass. Prince against Van Lith for 2. Van Lith gets by Walker all the way to the basket. 9.2 on the clock. Here is Andrews, their top 3-point shooter. Out to Vonleh. Vonleh will launch the 3. Off the iron, no good. Emma Nopu with the rebound, and she is fouled with 1 second left. Andrews will throw it up at the buzzer. Add another chapter to a remarkable story. From last place 2 years ago to Big 12 tournament champions.
Hailey was selected as the tournament's most outstanding player for her efforts to lead TCU from a 9th place finish last year to this year's championship.
Here now to present your tournament's most outstanding player, I welcome in Vice President of Women's Basketball, Dana Scharf. She has the championship belt. No surprise, it goes to Hailey Van Lith. Hold that thing up, let us see it. It's a little heavy. Hey, congratulations. When we were talking after the game about the double team in the first half. When that's happening to you, what is it in you that says I can come out in the second half and put up some points?
It's my teammates, really. They make it easy. When teams double me, they hit shots in the first half, so they had to change. And then when they got out of the double, it was my turn. Without them playing well and doing what they do, they would have stayed in it. So it's really them.
It is so hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. You'll have to get alone 2 in the last week. All of them have been battles. What is it about this matchup for you guys?
It's a rivalry, and there's a ton of passion, and there's a ton of grit in it, and, this is what you live for. This is what you train all fall and summer for, these moments against your rival for a championship, for the conference tournament. So we were just excited to compete.
For you to come to Fort Worth this season, you talk about being special. This is a pretty special unit up here. What's it been like to be a part of this group?
It's meant everything for me. Just getting to be around these girls every day as human beings. I couldn't be more joyful. I have joy every day when I come to practice, and it's because of the type of people that I have behind me. So, hell yeah! Clap it up! Clap it up!
Hailey Van Lith, your tournament most outstanding player. Congratulations, Hailey.
In other women's sports yesterday, the Gonzaga and Washington State seasons both came to an end, at least as far as the West Coast Conference tournament is concerned. That happening in Las Vegas. The Bulldogs fell in the semifinals to Oregon State, 63-61. Portland knocked off the Cougars and took them out of the tournament, 72-57. The Gonzaga men advanced to the championship of the WCC tournament with an 85-76 win over San Francisco last night. They'll play 19th rated St. Mary's tonight for the championship after the Gales ousted Pepperdine last night, 76-59. St. Mary's, by the way, has swept the season series against the Zags and also knocked the Bulldogs out of last year's WCC title game. The tip at 6 on ESPN. Well, the Mariners dropped to 6-12 in Cactus League baseball yesterday with a 7-5 loss at the hands of Milwaukee. Mitch Garver went yard for Seattle, while Jared Sundstrom had a good day at the plate, going 2 for 2 with a run. Casey Lawrence got the start, lasting 2 1/3. He allowed 3 runs on 4 hits, including a home run.
Now the set, and the 0-1 to Garver, swinging a high drive deep into the gap. In left center field, that ball is getting smaller and smaller, and goodbye baseball onto the berm in left center field. And Mitch Garver continues his hot hitting this spring. A 2-run blast by Garver, his 3rd home run, and it's now the Mariners 3 and the Brewers nothing here in the top of the 1st inning. What a spring from Mitch Garver. My goodness.
Delivery to Yelich, hit to left, got some carry, still carrying out of the ballpark. Second homer in as many games for Christian Yelich. Love to see the opposite field pop from Yelich.
After a day off today, the Mariners are back at it in Peoria tomorrow at 1:10 against Kansas City. We are just 15 days away from opening day at T-Mobile Park. Well, we mentioned yesterday that the Wenatchee Wild are clinging by their very fingernails to a potential playoff spot in the Western Hockey League action. Wenatchee is on the road this week. They'll wind down the season as they travel to Kamloops tomorrow to face the Blazers. They sit 3 points back of Seattle for the 8th and final playoff spot to the Western Conference. Austin Draude says they'll be watching tonight's matchup between the Thunderbirds and Tri-City Americans.
Yeah, we're obviously there's some work that we have to do, but we will need a little bit of help possibly to get that done. And Tri-City and Seattle, it's been a great battle all season long, but having some help from Tri-City is going to be a big help with 3 of the next 4 for Seattle against the Americans group. I think they're getting their top goaltender back, stepped out of the game with an injury on Friday. We didn't face him on Saturday, but Lucas Mateka and their top forwards, Gavin Garland, the top rookie for Tri-City, is back again. We saw him after missing some time with an injury we saw him on Saturday. So getting some help from Tri-City is going to be big this weekend. We need to take care of our business, but obviously we can't be doing the scoreboard watching. We've got to take care of our work. But we'll take all the help that Tri-City is able to offer.
Draude was a guest with Dan Kuntz on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley this morning. He says the Americans are getting healthy and have a lot to play for down the stretch as they position themselves for the playoffs.
It's a tight battle right now for 5 through 7. Prince George is pretty well locked into that 4th spot unless they're able to climb above Victoria and steal out that number 2 spot. But 5 through 7 is as close a battle as they come right now in the Western Hockey League. And you talk about Portland is right there, Tri-City is right there, Vancouver is right there. You're probably going to try to avoid that number 6 spot because of the likely matchup against Spokane. So getting that number 5 spot, whether you're going on the road to Prince George, which is always a tough road trip, or you're going on the road to Victoria, getting that number 5 spot and having that opportunity, I think, is going to be something big for them to play for. They've got a lot to go for right now, and obviously Seattle wants to try to put the race away this week.
After tomorrow's game in Kamloops, the Wild remain north of the border to play at Prince George on Friday, and Saturday we'll have more from Austin tomorrow as Wenatchee continues to reach for the postseason. Well, the Prep Spring Sports schedule gets off to a slow start this week, kind of a trickle out of the tap, if you will. The Quincy boys soccer team starts a 2025 campaign on the road with a friendly, if you will, against Eisenhower tonight. That's on the road at 7 o'clock. Speaking of soccer, our first Prep Sports broadcast of the spring will be this Friday at Eastmont as the Wildcats host the Pasco Bulldogs. Sebastian Moraga will have the play-by-play. Our pregame gets underway at 6:45 right here on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.